Hello, Fuzz.
What's your Jason? How you doing?
Long time no see,
Yeah,
sir.
absolutely. I brought this early TR4 chassis
Yes.
to make sure it's straight.
We'll get Mark to have a look at it on the jig.
All right, brilliant. Okay. What's the next step now, Jason?
Right, we've got to get it bolted down to the jig now, so we'll have to take out the rear leaf spring pins, we'll have to take out the front radiator stone guard, and then we'll start bolting her down using the brackets and see if she's square, see if she's as nice and straight. The jig can't be wrong.
Now, what would happen if we tried to build our body back onto the chassis and it is a little bit twisted?
You won't get your wing door gaps right, bonnet gap, boot gap, everything's dictated by this chassis. You have to start off with a square chassis and build up. It's the most important thing. Yeah, this has got to be square. I'll leave you guys to it.
Cheers.
Just lightly. Perfect.
That one went through a treat. Now, of course, one thing to remember is, in a workshop, never pick up anything that you see on the floor, just in case it's absolutely roasting and scalding hot. Okay, now that the pins and collars are out of the way, we can move the chassis forwards and see if it lines up. And those pins should line up with these two brackets here. So that will be the first point at which we're creating a datum point. That's a point from where the chassis is actually correct and measurable.
This all lines up and looks good at the moment, but until we get the pins in, we're not going to know exactly that it's perfect. Perfect. Right, again, just a gentle tap.
Yep. Okay.
That's it. Excellent.
That's 2 location points.
So having a look at it, it looks like we need to go up with the chassis. So the chassis is bent.
Okay, so how much is it? How much does it have to move?
Not a lot, but it's enough for us to want to do something about it. If I put the bar in and lift, we just need somewhere around there.
That's quite a lot, actually. So the chassis is actually bent. It's damaged.
Yeah.
That's about 10 millimeters. That's a big amount.
It's quite a bit, yeah, but it's doable.
So how do we bend it that much? We can't do it with just a bar.
We're going to get a hydraulic ram in, a porta power.
Yeah. Bring on the big stuff.
Okay.
If something has moved maybe a millimetre in the centre here, that can mean 10 or 20 millimetres up here. They say that there is nothing that the hammer cannot fix. I'm going to prove it.
I think we're nearly there.
All lines up as well.
Perfect.
So we only need to move the bit that's been damaged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant. So we know that the front's all good and true and it's not bent and twisted where the suspension mounts are.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
All right, good front, dodgy back end.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've had that before. Okay, so that lines up when you lift it up now. It lines up a lot better, actually.
Yeah, it does line up better than it did before. Now it's all bolted in the correct positioning. Still needs to come up a little bit, We'll just check this side as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of the same as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in line, but it just needs to come up.
But you can see that it's only bending from behind that centre mount there.
That's right, yeah. It'll only be really from here backwards that we'll get any movement in the chassis now, because we've hard mounted the whole of the front in 6 positions, so.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a little bit like a car jack.
Yeah, basically. It's just a hydraulic ram. We get the porta power in underneath this bar to start with.
Okay.
And we're just going to jack it up a little bit and see how we are with a little bit at a time.
Okay, up we go. Now that's just coming up roughly into line.
Yeah, let's have a quick look. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah, just
so that's maybe
a tiny little bit out.
And this side still wants to come up a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay, right, so what we do now, we've gone past the hole now.
Yeah. We're
So
about
we're just gonna
6 or 7 millimetres past the hole.
So we'll let it back off
Yeah.
and we'll see where we were to how much it's moved up, down from before.
So gently, little bits at a time.
Yeah, we'll go down and back up again a few times because we don't want to go too much. So we'll just drop it back down again. And it's virtually all the way back down to where it was before, or
no, not quite. It's probably moved up 2 or 3 millimetres.
A couple of 3 millimetres there, yeah, okay. So we need to go a bit more, so we'll go again.
Because we could possibly, if we put too much height into this, we could actually kink another bit of the chassis.
That, and we'll then have to bring the legs back down again, so we don't want to be going too high. That's why we're going a little bit at a time, so that we get the right amount rather than too much, because we don't want to be bending stuff back down again once we've gone up. So let's just drop it back down now.
That's kind of where it should be.
Yeah. We'll see if we can bolt this side in, because we're nearly there on this side.
Yeah, okay. Tiny little bit of movement, not going too far, just a little bit at a time, just bringing it into line.
Well, this is actually a really good chassis, so for the front to be as lined as it is, then it's a really good chassis. Yeah, some of the chassis that we have are considerably worse than this anyway.
But you can normally save them.
We can normally save them, yeah. Worst case is we cut the back off and weld another piece on, which when we sleeve sections in so as it's strong. So you can't just butt the two pieces of chassis up, you have to sleeve them inside, so it's the strongest area where the joins are. So. Okay.
You want me to take it up?
Yep.
While you hold it? Okay, how much do you want me to go?
Keep going. Just keeping a line down the length now.
So now it's kind of all twisting.
We're kind of twisting one side
different
up.
dimensions now.
Yeah, keep going.
But now the chassis is in line, it's down to actually repairs now.
Yep,
okay,
pretty much, yeah. I'm happy that that's within the tolerances of the chassis, so.
Perfect. So, there's bits of welding and a few things to straighten out on there.
There is.
Do you mind if I leave that to you?
No, that's absolutely fine.
Would you like your tools back?
Thank you very much.
All right, cheers. Thanks, Mark.
Cheers.
I'll see you in a bit. Take it easy.
Okay.
End of today?
Definitely.